Hey, good morning. We are here for day 2 of how to get your business, get people enrolling, get duplication, get financial freedom, get time freedom, all the things that you want, the whole reason why you started your online business. We're going to talk about that today for day 2. So, let me just double check here that we are streaming. I might not be able to. And we will get started. I hope you guys had a phenomenal day. Tell me about yesterday. Tell me your ahas. Tell me your takeaways. Hopefully you guys did the homework. We're going to do a little bit of recap this morning. We're going to talk about all things attraction marketing so that you don't have to sell online. You don't have to show up and be salesy online. You can build your teams. You can build up your customers. You can build up that residual income, which is the whole reason that you got started. So let me know if you did your homework. Your homework was the 2 questions. What problem can I solve? What problem can I solve? And what skill do I need to solve that problem? Okay, so we are here, we are showing up, we are playing full out. Okay, if you're here just kind of like it's a free training, you're not going to get any value out of this. Your business isn't going to go nowhere. You're going to do nothing with it. And that is just a little cold, hard slap in the face for you this morning. Okay, those of you who are going to take everything that I am showing you, implement it into your business, which I did see when I opened up Facebook, a lot of you shared something that you learned yesterday. So fun fact, did you know that depression takes 15 years off of your life? I know. I'm watching this new show on Netflix, so that was going to be my share for today. 15 years off of your life if you live with depression. That is depressing and sad, but it's also a reason to offer our nutrition, right? The solution. So, interesting fun fact that I learned yesterday, right? And this is how we create like, know, and trust within our audience, okay, and what we're doing. So, just double checking that we're streaming. Super slow internet. Okay, so you want to make money. You're here because you want to make money. You're here because you want to be a business owner and not a struggling network marketer. No one wants to be a struggling network marketer. No one wants to try to figure this out. No one wants to keep going to the trainings and going to the things and not having any results in our business. You don't care about my story. You don't care about what I've done. You're here because you want results in your own personal life and in your own personal business. And that is what I am here to deliver for you. So yesterday was day 1, how to attract an ever expanding targeted audience of qualified and interested people. If you have any questions about day 1, please drop them below. I am not going to answer them now. I will go back and answer them individually. And if it needs a little bit more explaining, then that will be something for me to expand on in the future, right? Sometimes I know so much information, I give so much information, we really got to break them down into smaller chunks. So if you have any questions about anything we covered yesterday, please put them in the comments so that I can come back and answer them. Also, it will help other people who are afraid to ask some questions, right? Please ask the questions. I can only help you if you ask questions, okay? I promise this is a safe place. It's a safe community. I will not be mean to you. Just ask the questions so that we can get you the answer. So day 2 is influence, how to create authority, influence, and trust with your audience so you never have to sell again. Who has the limited belief, I'm not good at sales, I don't know what to say, people aren't going to listen to me, people aren't going to buy from me, right? Those are all mental blocks keeping you from success. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to teach on that today. And then tomorrow is enrolling. How are we going to enroll and create a self-funding automated lead generation system? So you've got leads, you've got customers, you've got business besties joining each and every single day so that you can build your business on automation while also spending time with your friends, your family, or maybe you have a job still or whatever that looks like for you. Okay. So that is what we are doing today. So let's do a little bit of a recap, right? We have the 6% solution. What problem do I solve? Right? So we talked about skills, the difference between having a competitive skill set, which is, being a cashier or a waitress or anything entry level, you're competing against the marketplace. You don't have a whole lot of skills, right? So you are paid in proportion of the value you brought to the marketplace. And we talked about this yesterday. It's the difference between being paid as a cashier versus being paid as a brain surgeon. The difference is the time and commitment, the skill set that the brain surgeon learned versus the cashier. It takes a day to learn how to cashier. Trust me, I trained on it for 25 years. Literally takes a day to learn how to cashier. It takes years to become a brain surgeon. And the ones who are paid the most amount of money have a specialized skill set, right? They only work on babies from 0 to 2 years old. They only work on cancer patients. They only work on, heart conditions. They have a specialized skill set because they continue to get information, right? They invest in themselves and it paid. So that's what we are doing. We are learning attraction marketing. And today we are learning how to have influence and authority without, fake it till you make it. Don't do that. People can smell that a mile away. Don't be that guy. Okay. So when you can solve a high value problem, okay, we can solve a high value problem because we bring in leads each and every single day. So when someone joins our team, they can have leads distributed to them. When a brand new network marketer gets started, they have no idea where to get the lead. Maybe they made a list of 25 friends and family. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they launched their business. Maybe they didn't, but they cannot get a lead, right? We pay for lead generation. So because I can solve that problem, I'm going to enroll much faster and much quicker than Sally over here, who doesn't know how to solve the problem because she can't get leads herself, right? It's a specialized skill set. So the only way to significantly make more money is to significantly build your skill set. Okay, that is what we are doing. So we talked about the 3 myths of network marketing yesterday, how to succeed in the digital era. Good morning, guys. Remember to go up inside the comment and click on that. Yes, type in your name. I don't know. There's like a comment so that I know when you're commenting. Otherwise, it just says Facebook user on my end. And then today we are going to, and we talked about audience attraction, right? So here's what I want you guys to know. This is the long game. This is not, I'm going to do a post and get a customer tomorrow. That's not what we are doing, okay? That is prospecting, and 90% of people don't want to do that, or they're doing it wrong, treating their Facebook like a spammy billboard, and they are turning people off. You might get a customer, you will not build a business, okay? We are not doing that. We're not building our businesses that way. What we are doing is playing the long game. We are learning and investing in developing the skill set of attraction marketing to play the long game, which is 45 days from today, 90 days from today. People are like, what do you do and how are you doing it? Here's my credit card. And they're ready to sign up because you can solve a problem. Okay, so this is a long game. So know that now, because the one thing I'm going to do is manage your expectations. I will never say, here's what I will say, and I posted it this morning. I will guarantee your results. If you show up and do exactly what I share with you, you will 1,000% have results, right? Shar is such a perfect person. I don't know if she's watching live today, but Shar and I work together, and we don't even work together often, but when we do, it's intentional regarding her social media, and her engagement is increasing each and every single day. Okay, she is playing the long game of learning the skill set of how to build on social media while she builds her physical community. Okay, she's open, she's coachable, she does everything I tell her to do. Love you, Shar. That is who I love working with, by the way. Okay, so we're going to talk about how to create authority and influence so you never have to sell again. Most social sellers are selling online, and it's spammy and it's yucky. And I did it. Listen, I did it. I sent the cold DMs. I freaking messaged. I did all of the spammy crap, and it made me 6 figures. So I'm not ashamed at all. In fact, it works. Like, power to the people that are doing it. I didn't have a problem doing it because I believed in what I did so wholeheartedly. So I didn't care that someone else thought that I was spammy, and I will still do it sometimes. I also love cold prospecting. Like, I love it, and I have the skill set. Most people don't like it. They feel icky. They don't want to do it. And that's why cold prospecting works if you want results today. But the long game is attraction marketing and building up your brand so that people are coming to you and they have no idea your company. They have no idea what you sell. They're just saying, hey, I'm seeing what you're posting on Facebook and I'm interested. What do you do? Okay. So we're going to talk about Needy Nelly versus Confident Caden. Okay. We have Needy Nelly, the network marketer, and we have Confident Caden. And yes, I used my daughter's name because she freaking loves when I do that. So we're just going to do that. So Needy Nelly believes that she is a network marketer. She thinks she is a network marketer. It is very, very labor intensive. She is overwhelmed often and burnt out a lot. Okay, that is Needy Nelly. Maybe you can relate to Needy Nelly. I definitely can. Now, Confident Caden is in the business of solving problems. She's just trying to solve problems for other people. She's not needy at all. Okay. Number 2, Needy Nelly is the opportunity seeker. I'm open to opportunities. If you are an opportunity seeker, you are not a business owner or a business builder. You are going from shiny object to shiny object to shiny object, looking for the quickest way to make a buck. That is not someone who is going to sustain a business through the hard times, because there's hard times in business. It is just like a marriage. You have good times and you have bad times. Right? A business owner is going to weather those storms. So Confident Caden is the attraction marketer. She's building an asset for the long term. She's building her own business and her own brand. Needy Nelly, everyone is a prospect. Everyone's a prospect. She's doing the 3-foot rule. She's talking to everyone about her product. She's got commission breath. People are not answering the phone. She's probably worn out her friends and family, and that is Needy Nelly. Okay. Confident Caden is targeting her perfect product or perfect prospect. She has identified her perfect prospect, and then and only then does she have a business related conversation. Excuse me. Needy Nelly has no skills, no value, and she thinks that the products bring the value. Okay. She's got no skills, she has no value, and she thinks that the product is the value. Confident Caden invests in learning programs and mentorships. She knows that she's the value. Okay. She's always investing in growing her intellectual property, right? That's the product, is you. People make buying decisions from people. It's never the product. The product is solving the problem. Someone wants to lose weight and they see your results and you lost 25 pounds. They're buying you and your belief that this will solve the problem. Okay. So she is investing in herself, getting learning programs and mentorship so that she can solve more problems for more people. Needy Nelly directly promotes her MLM or her products online. She is the spammy billboard. Okay, that is Needy Nelly. And listen, no judgment here. I did it, I'll still do it. So there's no judgment. Okay, look at this. If you're like, that's me, laugh about it. Okay, let's learn together and let's move on. There's no judgment here. All right, number 5, Confident Caden fosters influence. Okay, she fosters curiosity. She fosters influence. Okay. Needy Nelly is needy and desperate. She needs people for her own paycheck. Okay, she's needy, she's desperate. She needs people for her own paycheck. But Confident Caden is a credible expert or consultant. Okay, she is seen as an authority with credible expert and consultant. And by the way, I'm going to teach you guys how to do this today. Okay, so let's get excited. All right, number 7, Needy Nelly is chasing people down, following up with people months at a time. Okay, that is Needy Nelly. Confident Caden, people are approaching her. How can I work with you? How can I sign up? How can I learn more about your product? How can I learn more about your program? Okay, they're signing up for her. And Needy Nelly, last one, number 8. She's tactical and transactional. Okay. She believes that being direct is the best approach. Okay. She's tactical and transactional. Confident Caden is strategic and purpose driven. Okay. So hope you guys got some value out of that. It was pretty eye-opening. I definitely was and have been a needy Nelly myself. So if you are a needy Nelly, that's okay. We are going to transition you to be that confident Caden so that you are a business owner and a business operator, and you're not dependent on people. We are dependent on systems. We are strategic and purpose-driven, okay? Oh, 2 more, just kidding. All right, so needy Nelly, how can I make money? Needy Nelly comes from how do I get money? How do I get paid? How do I do this? Okay. Whereas confident Caden, how can I create assets to create cash flow? How can I create assets for the future to create cash flow? That's a business owner mentality. Needy Nelly has the time versus wage mentality. They're an employee. This was the biggest obstacle. Remember I shared with you guys my biggest block was I didn't believe I could have fun and get paid. Like, there's no way I can do this. This is fun and I'm going to make 10 grand. It was such a big hurdle for me because I had the time wage mentality. I showed up, I got paid. I showed up, I got paid. That was work. That was all I did for years, right? So the time wage mentality, as soon as I got through that block, which really was when I was having the most fun in my business, was when and it's interesting because the coach, the person that I signed up that made me my $10,000 commission was the coach that took my $30,000 for a real estate seminar. So it was so freaking bittersweet. And she was my first sale. So, or my first commissioned sale. So the last one is confident Caden uses systems for leverage. She uses systems for leverage, and that's what we are teaching here. So step 1 of a leader, they have influence. Okay. So I want you guys to notice your thoughts about what we just went over. Negative Nelly. What did I call her? Needy Nelly versus confident Caden. Okay. Notice what we just went through. And if you said like, I do that, or like, notice what you're thinking about the thing. Because we're not going to judge ourselves. We're not going to shame ourselves. We're not going to guilt ourselves. We're not going to do any of that. That's only going to bring negative energy, which is going to bring a negative outcome. That's how that works. Okay. So we have to look at it. We have to kind of open up the lid and look at it with curiosity and be like, I didn't even know I was doing that. I'm so glad I'm here to learn, right? We got to flip that switch. So just don't judge it. Look at it with curiosity. If you're following other online mentors or coaches or influencers and you have someone that you really like, I follow a few people and I'm like, what would that person do, right? What would John Melton do? What would Bryn Lang do? What would Michelle Barnes do? What would Boss Lee do? What would Eric Worre do? Like whoever you're following, whoever your mentor, your influencer, your coaches, what would they do in that moment? Okay. So I want you to also think of this. And remember yesterday, so I want everyone to make sure too, this is tonight's homework, is to create your business page. You guys are going to create a business page tonight. We're going to start the branding side of your business. Okay. So you can name it whatever you want. If you struggle, let us know in the group that you're struggling so that we can help you. You can call it your name. You can give it a, whatever, curiosity marketing, whatever you want your brand to be, whatever problem you're going to solve. Some of you already know that. We've got clients already working with us. You've got a URL, you've got a brand, you know what that is. If you don't, that's okay. We are here to figure that out together. So I want you guys to start thinking about that. But here's what I want you guys to start thinking of: an alter ego. I learned this from Jessie Lee Ward. She's arguably the #1 network marketer in the world. So her name is Jessie Lee Ward, right? She had a very rough childhood, very insecure, very shy, very, all of the self-doubt and the struggles that we all start out in network marketing, right? Or online marketing. But then she decided one day, enough is enough. I'm going to build this business. I'm going to make it work. And so she created Boss Lee. And so when Jessie Lee Ward found herself doubtful, she had to step into Boss Lee, right? Now, she was clear on who Boss Lee was. Boss Lee made X amount of dollars a month. She owned this. She did that. She did this for her team. Like, she created the alter ego on paper. And so when she's with her friends and her family, she can be herself. But when she was on camera, when she was with her team, when she was on stage, she was this whole other person. Okay. So do that for yourself if that would help you, because you have to bridge the gap. Remember, yesterday we talked about 0 to 10 is where you want to be. And a lot of you said, you're around a 5. But if we can't identify what a 10 looks like, we're never going to get there. Okay. The other thing I want you to know is when you get to 10, it's going to stretch. 10 is going to turn into 15 and 15 is going to turn into 20. When you hit 10 grand a month, you're going to start living like you make 10 grand a month, like it was 5 grand a month. And then you're going to want 15 grand a month. And then you're going to have to go through all of the same cycles again. It's called new level, new devil. Okay. They're called terror barriers. When you start making more money or thinking you're responsible for other people, or, when you grow into that person, then you're faced with your own doubts. It's that mirror. It's that reflection, right? New level, new devil. It doesn't go away. So when you have 0 and you have 10 and you hit like, yeah, I did it. I got 10 grand a month. You're going to want 15. Trust me. Trust me. We stay satisfied and then we're hungry for more. Even if you stay at 10 grand for 3 years, eventually you might be like, or you want to go on to write a book, or you want to go on to build a website, or you want to go on to learn something else, then that same thing is going to come up, that 0 to 10. And if you don't have 10 identified, you can't hit it, right? If I were to get in my car right now and drive to New York and not pull out a GPS, it is very unlikely I would find New York now I might, if I have an idea of what states are between me and New York, I might be able to figure it out. I don't, by the way. I would probably end up in Florida. And then from Florida, I could figure it out. I know how to drive up the East Coast. But this is the time, space thing, right? If we can condense time and space, if we can see it and we can map it and we have a blueprint, it could take me 48 hours to drive to New York, or it could take me a week because I don't know where I'm going. Okay. That is why we have to have our goals, SMART goals, right? They have to completely be measurable so that we can identify them, so that we know if we're hitting the targets or not. Otherwise, it's just poo-poo. It's just chaos. Okay, so create an alter ego if you need to. Create what that 10 looks like so that we can hit those benchmarks. Okay, so we have the 6 principles of influence. If you're taking notes, you want to write this down. 6 principles of influence. These are 6 universal triggers that you can use to gain influence and trust. Okay, now I want to pause for a second and talk about this word influence. Influence is neutral. It's a word. Okay. Now, what do I mean by that? Mother Teresa used influence, and so did Hitler. Right? Biden used influence, and so did Trump. Influence is a word. What happens is when we come from a selfish place of me, then it's called manipulation. Right? Then we come from a place of how do I get what I want? And we're taking from other people, or we're using force, or we're using power the wrong way, right? And we're trying to get what we want through manipulation. When you are a Mother Teresa or a Jesus using influence, then you are always come from abundance. You come from giving, right? You come from how do I help others know what I know? How do I help others learn what I've learned? And you're always giving first. Okay. So influence is a neutral word, and you get to decide the type of influence that you want to be for somebody. So be careful. It's a very, very thin veil between motivation and manipulation. So just be mindful of that. Am I doing this to manipulate someone, or am I doing this to motivate someone? Okay. And this is both in business, friendships, relationships, marriages, all of it. Because we all have influence with our circles. Okay. But are we doing it to get what we want, or are we doing it to help them get what they want? Okay. So there are 6 principles of influence. I might say this wrong. Reciprocity. The law of reciprocity. I'm saying it wrong. The law of reciprocity. Anyway, what you give, you take. I don't know why I'm sounding like such a freaking silly head right now. I can't even say it. Reciprocity. I can't say the word. Please don't make fun of me. There is a law. You can look it up. I don't know why I'm being so silly right now, but it's the law of cause and effect. Okay, what we give, we get. So I'm going to use an example of a mint and a waitress. Right, there is a scientific proven study based on the law of psychology, selling and psychology, human behavior. When a waiter gives a mint, when they give 1 mint, then the tips go up 3%. When they give 2 mints, then it will go up between 3% and 14%. And all the waiter did was leave a mint with the bill. So they're asking for you to pay your check, right? But they're leaving a mint. That is the law in effect. When you do a favor for someone, then the other person kind of feels the obligation to repay that favor. A lot of times I've donated money to a lot of charities. So like the March of Dimes will send me a dime and a self-addressed envelope and then ask me for a donation, right? That is the law in effect. So giving free samples away. This is why Costco gives away free samples. Amway used to give away free samples. I don't know if they do anymore, but it works. Not even if the food, like if you're at Costco and they're like, I don't know. I mean, it tastes okay, but the person was very charismatic and very excited and, sold the product. Then the person is actually purchasing the experience that the person giving them the free sample gave them. They're really purchasing that experience and not necessarily the food. Okay, so that is the law in effect. Lead magnets, which is what we're going to teach you guys. How to make a lead magnet, because what you're doing with a lead magnet is you're actually selling the desire. Okay, so think of like a $5 reward. Like I buy my kids' clothes at Children's Place, and I'm always getting $10 rewards, $25 rewards. Basically, spend your money with us, and we'll keep rewarding you with these offers, and that is a lead magnet. Loyalty cards, right? Starbucks or a lot of these coffee shops, buy 10 coffees, get a free coffee. It's a loyalty reward. It's serving you, right? It's selling the desire of you getting another coffee. They're going to give you a free one. You want to make sure that it's genuine and not transactional. Okay, you want to make sure it's genuine and not transactional, meaning you're not giving someone a sample of something that like I have, someone that's like deathly doesn't like caffeine, like my mom. Okay, my mom does not drink caffeine. She drinks decaffeinated drinks. I wouldn't offer her an espresso bean. That would not be good, right? She would wonder what the hell I was doing, and she'd be freaking out all afternoon. She doesn't have caffeine in her. That would be super not cool. So we don't give samples with the expectation of getting a sale. We give samples away. Like, for example, there was someone on Facebook that was talking about her discomfort with arthritis, right? So she lives here, and I offered to drive her some recovery. Like, hey, let me just give you a few and see if it works, right? That is providing value to somebody. Okay, so leading with value, which is what this whole boot camp is about, educating you on leading with value and not selling your stuff, okay? So number 2 is commitment and consistency. Commitment and consistency. Small commitments, okay? So small commitments like a like. Do me a favor, if you like this video, like the video, right? Comment and share. What you're doing is you're getting someone to make a micro commitment, right? If someone's like, oh, I'm going to do the boot camp and I'll be there all 3 days, right? They're making a micro commitment to their own business, but the commitment's to them, not to me. Okay. If you can get someone to make a micro commitment, and if they can continue to make those micro commitments day after day after day, then they're going to eventually have some massive rewards. And when you can solve someone's problem for them, you have a loyal customer. right? So if I can get my team to do a post a day, or 3 to 5 posts a day, or a reel a day, or a video a day, right? And that's all I'm saying is, here's your words. do one video every single day. And in 45 days, they've got viral videos, they've got customers joining, they've got business besties joining. Guess what? I just solved a major problem, and all I did was get a micro commitment. I need you to use these words and put a reel up for the next 45 days, 90 days, whatever it is, right? It's small micro commitments to get that long-lasting result in your business. So the foot in the door example, right? The foot in the door example is like, if you go to a grocery store and someone's like, hey, do you, believe in human rights? And you're like, well, yeah, because they want you to sign a petition. So what they're doing is just asking a question to see if you are a like-minded person to be a fit to sign that petition, right? But they're asking the question, which is gaining a little bit of credibility for you. Hey, are you pro-life? Right? Whether you are or you aren't, they're going to get you to, see if you want to sign a clipboard for whatever they're campaigning, okay? Which is also a campaigning. Social challenges, right? So if you've got someone going through a social challenge, like the Fit Challenge is a social challenge, or Ice Body Challenge is a social challenge. And if someone can commit to going through that challenge each and every single day, then they're making a commitment to themselves, and they're also seeing results for themselves. And what happens is when they get those results, they will be more apt to share via social media because they're going through those challenges and they're going to get a result. Okay. So smaller yeses lead to bigger yeses. Surveys and quizzes are another way for you to gain some of this information and use them as a tool to redirect some of these questions to your audience, right? How do I serve my audience? What does my audience need? Do I have any friends who are, looking to have a bikini body by next summer? If someone says no, I wouldn't invite them into the Fit Challenge. That wouldn't make any sense, right? Remember the myth. Not everyone is your prospect. You don't want to have conversations with people who have zero desire to lose weight. Just like you don't want to have any conversations with people who have zero desire to put themselves out on social media. If they don't, I do not talk to my husband about social media. Don't do it. He doesn't have any social media accounts. He doesn't understand what I do. He thinks I'm just freaking bananas. And I'm not trying to convince him that network marketing and online marketing is the greatest thing in the world. He just likes spending the money. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. All right, number three. So number one, reciprocity. I can't say that word. Number two, commitment and consistency. Number three is social proof. That social proof is everything, okay? I shouldn't say everything with such an emphasis, but social proof is a big deal. Pictures of before and after. Not, hey, buy my freaking lemonade and lose 27 pounds with me. A picture of Veronica, who weighed 250 pounds and now weighs 150 pounds because she drank a delicious drink, is a curiosity post. Oh my God, what did Veronica do? That is social proof. That is how you sell without selling, is by sharing results and stories of other people. And we talk about this a lot. I'm always encouraging you guys, when you hear stories from the stage, from your trainings or your conventions or your seminars or people you're following on social media, you want to share their results, not using their name or any specifics or brands or anything like that, but sharing those results is a form of social proof. So this is interesting. 72% of millennials make purchases based on what they see on Instagram. They're not watching TV, guys, and they're not listening to the radio. Instagram is their marketing. That's their billboard. They make purchases. If it's on Instagram, it's legit, right? That's how they're making their purchases. It's bananas for those of us over 40, but for the millennials, this is their TV. This is their trust. This is where they get their information. So they're making purchase decisions based on whether it's relevant on Instagram. So using leverage, right? There's a investor report that I subscribe to, right? And it says, join 250,000 smart investors like you. Well, I want to be surrounded by 250 other smart investors. So it's leveraging that number. If 250,000 people are already subscribed, there must be some value in that. I want to be a part of that, right? They want to be a part of something. Laughter. So 80s and 90s sitcoms, right? I actually went to the Pauly Shore show when I was young, and back when you could go sit in audiences, and they would have the sign laughter and everyone's laughing, right? It's called canned laughter. Laughter is truly the best medicine, and people follow people who are happy. Not dictators saying, hey, you're a big jerk if you don't work on your retirement. No one wants that guy, right? They want the person that's happy and smiling and so glad I figured out how to add an extra $100 to my retirement account. Woo woo, right? People are like, well, she's having fun. And look at there. Look at what they're doing. Look at where they're at. How are they doing that, right? How are they doing that? How can I work with you? That's what you want to create for them. So that's the social proof. But remember, the social proof has to answer the question for them, what's in it for me? So it's not your results. I mean, it's you sharing your results. And also, I can teach you. I can show you. Join here. Click on my free, this is the value add, right? 10 reasons why you should start social selling right now, right? Opt in here. What you do is you create that. That's your lead magnet. That's your value, tangenting a little bit. And then people will opt in for that information. And now you are seen as an expert. It's something that we can create for you guys. So people who bought this solution, this is something that Amazon does. Hey, you just bought this book. Other people bought this book and this book, right? They're referring you. They're offering, like, you like Think and Grow Rich, so you might like Cybernetics or The Science of Getting Rich, right? Those are the 3 books that I highly recommend. I mentioned them yesterday. So that's what a lot of other, so it's also in Funnel Talk and what we do, right? Creating landing pages in Funnel Talk. It's called an order bump. So you create something for free, and on the back end, like, you educate them, right? Let's say you're selling a weight loss product. You're educating them on, hey, it's not your fault that you've got stubborn belly fat, right? You're a mom. I'm talking to myself. You're a mom. You're over 40. Your hormones are crazy. You just had a kid. Here is how you can, right? And so I'm going to offer a free exclusive thing targeting moms over 40 with a 2-year-old, right? It's a niche market. That's niching down, by the way. It's the only person I'm talking to. Like, hey, that belly fat's not your problem. Here's why it's there. And here's how you can attack it, right? Download this free blueprint. And then they opt into my blueprint. And on the back end, after I just educated them and created the desire, right? Because first what I do is I sympathize with their story. Listen, mom, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's your hormones' fault. It's your baby's fault. It's your this fault. It's your, like, I'm going to side with her. I'm going to explain to her. I'm going to take her on a journey. And then on the back end, I might say, give this shake a try or whatever, and sell something for $7. And then on the end of that, sell something for $47. And some of you guys have bought this stuff and you're like, oh my God, I've been through that. That is an order bump. That is what we sell through automation, leveraging lead magnets. Okay. So social media, obviously leveraging social media and other people's stories, other people's results, sharing other people. Here's what I will say about that. If you're sharing something to your page that someone else wrote or did, don't just share it without sharing why you think it's valuable for them to read it, right? So if you followed a weight loss is the easiest thing to always talk about, right? So if you found this useful and you're like, oh man, I think I have a lot of moms on my page, like, I'm going to share this. Then what I would do is I would share it and I'd be like, hey mamas, see, it's not our fault. Anybody want to do this with me? So I'm asking a question, which is going to create engagement. And I'm also saying, hey moms, look, it's not our fault. So the moms are like, well, it's not our fault, right? And it'll likely have a before and after picture of a bigger person and a skinnier person. And that's going to talk to my person who wants to lose weight and no one else. It's going to exclude everyone else. Okay. So social media, testimonials, same thing, testimonials, results. Okay. So number 4, if you're taking notes, number 4, liking. People buy from people that they like. Okay. So this is why in marketing they use attractive models, because people like to look at things that are pretty, and they tend to trust things that are well kept and maintained and pretty. So they use that for attraction marketing. So it's why you'll see a smiling model even though they're selling a prescription drug, even though they're talking about detrimental health, even though they're selling crap that's horrible for us. They're using a pretty model. So visually, you're smiling, and then the words that they say or type out on the screen make sense, and you make a buying decision because you saw happy people smiling, right? I want you guys, if you watch TV, Netflix doesn't have commercials, but Hulu or television still has commercials. I want you guys to start looking at them, not the message. Look at it with put your marketing glasses on and look at it from marketing point of view, especially the drug ones. They're ridiculous. They will talk about the most horrific side effects of your body while pictures of elderly people are playing with their grandkids. And the psychology behind it is you're seeing something visually appealing and you're hearing the problem be solved. Okay, so it's taking your senses, it's going into your senses, going into your desires and selling you the solution. Okay, so start looking at commercials, because that's all we do in our reels. That's all we do in our reels. We smile, we talk, and we solve people's problems when we do it the right way. Compliments and recognition, right? People like to be complimented and recognized, right? And even like a lot of the big leaders that I follow, I will compliment them and talk about them or tag them in my social media stuff, because they're leaders, right? They make way more money than I do, but I admire them. They give me so much value. They teach and they train and they coach me so much. So I'm always complimenting them, not necessarily publicly, but I'm in groups with these people and I'm always shouting them out, because when you gain or when you share gratitude for something you're learning from your mentor, then people are going to be grateful for you, right? But if you're not, because you're always taking, then people by default are going to take from you because they see that that's your behavior. Okay, so you always want to give recognition when it's deserved, obviously. Cooperating with others. This is something women we do this innately because we're a gatherer subconsciously, right? It's in our DNA. We are the gatherers, so we naturally cooperate. Or I won't even say men and women anymore, but it's the alpha woman and the alpha man, right? They are the hunters. They go out. They're by themselves. They don't want sound. They need peace and quiet. They're going to kill the deer and bring the deer home, right? That's the alpha personality. Like, don't bug me. I'm working. I'm in the zone. I'm doing my thing. But the gatherer personality, doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman, they want the kumbaya. They want the cooperation. They want the cheerleading. They want to always be around everybody. They want to hug and they want to love, and they're big old yellows, right? That's the difference. There's neither are right or wrong. And there's a time to be both. There's a time where I'm a hunter and I need to hunt because I am a hunter. And there's time where I need to be around people because isolation is not good for Jennifer, right? So I have an office right here and I love it. I had to get out of my house in order to really create a space for me to create. But if I were here 10 hours a day, like a cubicle, I would go bananas, right? I have to get out and go be with the people. So there's really a time to do both. And all that does a cooperation, right? Is working with people who are going to collaborate and cooperate with you is a huge part in this. And then conditioning and association, right? Conditioning and association is huge, because what happens is if we are brand new and we don't have a network locally and we haven't plugged into one, and we're spending all of our time with people who are conditioned to believe what we do is a scam, what we do isn't real, what we do is not going to work, then that voice could be louder than our belief or in our dreams, right? So like babies and children are so brilliantly dreamers. until their parents say, stop doing that. You can't do that. You're too loud. You can't, and just suck the freaking spirit right out of the kid. That's what happens. That is what happens when we are not conditioned to allow children to be children and explore and be curious and give that praise, right? Because we want to condition them to believe, the world is scary, the world is not trusting you. Like whatever you believe about the world, you're going to put onto your kids. Okay. So whatever your friends believe about network marketing, good, bad, right, or wrong, they're going to tell you because they love you, because they care about you, right? They don't know any different. So having those associations and understanding that it's conditioning, which means you can uncondition it, right? You can surround yourself with people who are in network marketing. It's their only source of income. They've been doing it for a long time. You hire coaches, you get into groups. If you're, by yourself, you go to events that are physical in your area, which they are. If meetup.com is still a thing, meetup.com is what I used to use 9 years ago. I think it's still a thing. If not, I'm sure Facebook probably has it where you can search it, but you can literally go to, it's one word, meetup.com, meetup. You could type in anything. You could type in hiking, you could type in happy hour, you could type in network marketing, and you can go see local groups around you. Eventbrite is another one. You can go and search local groups of network marketing or small business moms or whatever, and get out of your house and surround yourself with people who are building the same type of dream you're building so that you can build them together. It's a huge part in this. So, all right, number five. Number five is authority, okay? Authority, titles and diplomas. These things are important to people. It's why they use ranks in network marketing. Oh, she's a this, she's important, right? Because people like status. It gives them a meaning. We were conditioned to believe, to trust people of authority because they have a diploma, they have a status, that it says doctor at the end of their name, or dentist, or they're a published author. That in our minds, in our conditioning, that tells society that they are someone. Okay, so titles and diplomas create authority. How you can do this as a beginner. If you become a business owner when you build your Facebook business site, you are your CEO. You are the founder of your business. You have instant authority by saying, you know what? I'm done with this $30 a month business. Like, it's time to be a business owner and become a CEO and become a founder. Okay. Everyone starts at zero. Everyone starts at zero, okay? So you are an authority. Clothing, right? People tie clothing to authority. Do you dress like everyone else, or do you dress like I heard the saying growing up as a young adult in my career, you don't dress for the position you have, you dress for the position you want. So when I would go to store manager meetings, all the other managers would be dressed in, our polo and Dickies, and I would be dressed like the district manager. I would be wearing a pantsuit or a dress because I was conditioning myself for the role of a district manager, and I didn't care what people thought about me. So how you dress, how you show up is extremely important. Authority. So Ferraris and mansions, right? Now, don't be the guy that rents a car to do this. That is fake it till you make it, and it's yucky, and people know that. But I definitely have friends that have Maseratis or Ferraris or Rolls Royces, and they're doing video from their car, right? So they're providing value, they're teaching and educating, and behind their headrest has the RR or the Ferrari symbol or whatever, right? So they're not arrogantly like, look at me and my cool shit. They purchased a vehicle that they own. They happen to be sharing valuable content. And subconsciously, our mind sees that status symbol and says, oh shit, he's the real deal. Now, a lot of people stay broke because they're trying to impress people. So don't be that person, okay? That is like money tip number one. If you can't afford to pay cash for it, you can't afford it, right? That's something my parents taught me. My grandpa taught me. But I see a lot of people over the last 9 years buying shit they don't need as a status symbol. And that is fake it till you make it. You're draining your bank account to impress people you most likely don't even like, right? Because you can. Well, I have the money. Your money needs to be invested into something that gives you an ROI, return on your investment. Ideally, if you're watching this video, you want time and not a new purse. So in the short term, we're going to sacrifice and not buy the new purse so we can invest in ourselves and our skill sets to buy more time. And then when you have bought in all the time in the world, you can go buy 47 purses. Okay, but really, really, really disciplining your money mindset on what you purchase. That's just a little tangent for you. Okay, and then you can leverage other people's authority, right? So I shared with you guys, I hired a network marketing coach last week. I will be sharing her authority. I also will be with her in a week because I bought a ticket to an event called Faith Over Fear in Orlando, Florida next weekend, where I'm going to go be around everyone that is a celebrity to me. They're all making 20, 30, 40, 100 grand a month. And I'm going to go rub shoulders with them and meet them and talk with them and interview them and do all that stuff, right? Because proximity is power. I will be the dumbest person in that room, and I am so looking forward to being a student. I can't even tell you. But I will get to come home and tell you all of their stories and how every single one of them started at zero, okay? So, number 6, if you're taking notes, number 6, scarcity. Scarcity is huge when it comes to social selling and selling in general, right? There is something called FOMO, fear of missing out. People will buy it because they don't want to miss out on it, okay? So scarcity, prices going up Tuesday, okay? They do this for, I just bought my my flight for Orlando yesterday and it said only 3 seats remaining. And I didn't even buy the return flight home. I only bought the flight to Florida because it was such a great deal and it was the only one direct. So I bought that flight and it said only 3 flights left. That's a scarcity mindset. It made me make a buying decision in the moment because I wanted to go to Florida, okay? So limited time, limited quality, and really what you're looking for is decisive people who can take action, right? And people who are decisive are typically more successful because they know there's no such thing as the wrong decision. The Power of Decision, write that down, buy that book, The Power of Decision. Phenomenal book. I read it a million years ago. I read it about every other year. And it's just a reminder that learning how to trust yourself to make a decision, because however the decision plays out, you trust yourself to know you're going to be fine. Like, this is the decision because I want this result. And that comes from trusting yourself and your commitments. But The Power of Decision is a phenomenal book that will help you with that. Okay, so you're looking for decisive people who can take action. And then when you go shopping and you see things like, limited stock or out of stock, what you're doing is you're creating the desire to buy it. Okay, you're creating the desire to buy it in the moment. And that works, right? It's why when you're in network marketing, you don't say, oh, that's okay, we have a meeting every Wednesday. Because now that person just bought years. They'll sign up whenever they feel like it, right? But you want to act like, listen, if you don't come on Wednesday, I don't know if we're going to have another one. Oh shit, I need to come, right? So don't make offers until you've created influence. Do not make an offer until you've created influence. I did a video on this morning. Do not make an offer until you've created influence. Here's what I mean by that. Remember, we're playing the long game. Okay. In the beginning of my journey, all I shared was what I was learning about a skill set. That skill set was real estate investing. I had nothing to sell. I paid 30 grand for a seminar and I said, hey, friends and family, I'm learning how to be a real estate investor. Today, I learned how to pay off your mortgage in 7 years. Did you know you could do that? Today, and all I did was share what I was learning and then share stories of other people who were successful. It wasn't until 6 months into it, and I went bankrupt and 2 foreclosures later, that I found a real estate affiliate marketing program, and then I started selling. But I had authority, ironically, because I did everything so publicly that people trusted me. So I made my first sale, but I was not selling online. I was creating value. This is before I was doing it and didn't know what I was doing. The value was in the event that we hosted, right? So we hosted an event. We displayed the result, which is a real estate transaction. And we said, hey, if you want to learn how to do this, then come join us on Wednesday night. And then we created relationships and we sold a very high ticket offer. It's not something you're going to sell on Facebook. But what I did was provide value, because the entire time I educated my audience on how to save money or get started in real estate investing or prevent a foreclosure, all of that stuff. Okay, so you guys are all learning how to build an online business, how to be a digital marketer, how to be an online marketer. I would not use the term network marketer. No one wants to be a network marketer, right? You're learning how to build a business. You're learning how to brand yourself. You're learning how to create authority and influence. These are all things that you will share as who you are. Because what will happen is when you're sharing these lessons and then you are sharing the results of other people, then you'll be ready to sell. And you'll do it in a way where people are like, wow, Chris, I have been following your journey for the last 6 months. And I got to say, you're someone I really want to work with. What do I got to do to get things started? It will happen for you. Guaranteed. I can guarantee you this if you stick with me. Some of you have already experienced this. When you do this the right way, people are going to say, Jen, they did it to me. They still do it to me. Valerie, if Valerie is watching, is such a perfect example. Valerie followed me through a whole nother company that I paid another $30,000 for in real estate investing, but she didn't do anything until I got into network marketing. But I had built a rapport with her via Facebook. And then she finally was like, oh, the real estate thing wasn't really that interesting, but this online making money thing, I think I'll give this a try. Right? But I had created that trust with her because I showed up with consistency for the last 9 years. Mike Goldberry, phenomenal example. Never got on the phone with him. He bought a pro pack to get my attention. Hey, you, look at me. I'm serious. Here's $2,000. Work with me right now. That is what I do because I showed up 9 years ago. And so people can Google me and research me and see that my story checks out. I'm not fabricating events or fabricating things. It's all the same, right? If you lie or if you fake it till you make it and people start researching and Googling you and your shit doesn't add up, no one is buying from you, right? But my videos all suck 6 years ago, shit, probably 3 years ago, right? I'm okay with that. They probably suck today compared to what I'm going to learn how to do in the next 5 years. And I'm okay with that. Because I show up and I'm real and I'm excited and I believe in this industry with my soul. So people sign up knowing they have their own journey. They're not going to get the same results I got. I'm a hungry freaking unicorn, and not everyone is a hungry unicorn. But if you are, then what I have for you now is going to freaking smash that time. So it's not going to take you 6 months to get 10 grand. You can do it in 90 days, right? Depending on if you're someone that's a hungry unicorn. So silly. All right, so the 5 basic human needs: your marketing, your content, your emails, your lead magnets, all the value add that you are going to create has got to hit on these 5 basic needs. And I'm going to touch down on each one of them. We're going to go a little over an hour today. I'm okay with that. You guys can stay on. Okay, so 5 basic human needs: prestige, curiosity, security, sensation, connection. Okay? Prestige, curiosity, security, sensation, and connection. I'll go through this a little bit fast. Prestige. So for someone who wants prestige, the need to be publicly admired, to win in competitive situations, to be a positive authority, to have possessions or wealth. They're driven by status. This is your A-type personality. They're the ones that have the name brand shoes, the name brand car, the nice house. They look perfect all the time. They're driven by status. Okay, this is prestige. Nothing wrong with it, right? Their decisions, their buying decisions are based off of the need of prestige. Okay, so that's how they make their buying decisions. And by the way, we all have this in us because everyone wants to be viewed and admired. Everyone wants to be seen. Oh, I love that, Yvette. Making lifetime memories. That is so freaking, that's a post. I'm just saying. Put that in ChatGPT. That's another training I'm going to do for you guys. Oh, I love ChatGPT. All right, number 2, curiosity. The need to feel free and independent, to understand how things work. They have to have diverse experiences. They have to explore places, concepts, and ideas. Okay, so that's curiosity. Children are perfectly born curious. Without that curiosity, they wouldn't learn anything. Okay, it's the curiosity that allows them to learn how to walk, to learn how to talk, to learn how to crawl. They're curious and they'll learn how to do it. Okay, so it's a good thing. You want to foster curiosity within your team. Foster curiosity within your team. Okay, sensation. That's one I just learned. The need to feel, I don't know what that word is, or to indulge in sensual pleasure and be stimulated by your environment. So what that means is that's one of the reasons why they use attractive models, right? That's one of the reasons why the term sex sells. I can remember, if you're over 40 like me, there was a shampoo herbal essence, right? And the chick was in the shower like, oh, like having the greatest shower in her world. So now that I understand marketing and sensation, they were selling the sensation, right? Sex sells. So people are actually addicted to this. People that get massages, pedicures, things of this nature, they're addicted to sensation. It's a human need for them. Physical touch, it's a love language also, interestingly enough. So sensation is one of the basic human needs. Connection, the need to belong to a group, the need to have fun, the need to care for and be cared by others. These are the mothers of your team. These are the ones who are putting on events. These are the ones who are volunteering. These are your big old yellows. They have the need for connection. They need love and they need to be loved. That's the most important thing to them. They want to save the world. They want to save the dolphins. They want to do all the greater good for them is never about them. It's always about other people. And security, the need to feel safe, to understand cause and effect in relationships, to avoid ambiguity and uncertainty. Now, people who are looking for security are really looking for clarity. Clarity is the most important word. I want you to write that down and circle it. Sometimes people aren't following you or aren't joining you because they don't have clarity on how they can go from A to B. There's no clarity on the system. There's no clarity on the roadmap. So they don't have security as a business owner. So they can't make the decision to sign up. Okay, people need security. They need to feel secure in their relationships and they need to feel safe in their homes. These are extremely important to people. Okay, baby boomers, if you are targeting baby boomers, their primal need is security. They need security right now more than ever. So, marketing tip for ya. Okay, I want you to listen to this quote very, very closely. It's a quote by Blair Warren. You can go Google it. There's a lot of information on it. But listen to this. People will do anything for those who encourage their dreams, justify their failures, ally their fears, confirm their suspicions, and help them throw rocks at their enemies. Okay? People will do anything for those who encourage their dreams, justify their failures, ally their fears, confirm their suspicions, and help them throw rocks at their neighbors. This is going to make a little bit more sense when we dive a little bit deeper into having influence the right way, not through manipulation, but through understanding. I understand where you are, right? The weight gain is not your problem, Jen. It's not your fault, right? Because I have all the shame and all the guilt, right? But the person that's selling me the solution is like, don't worry. It's just because you're over 40, your hormones are out of control and you had a baby. Take this magic pill, right? That's what we're doing, is someone's understanding instead of dumping more shame on me. Oh, I should be further along in my business. No, you shouldn't. You're exactly where you are. The system sucks. You don't have a system in your business. Actually, let me hold your hand and take you through an actual system so we can get you from 0 to 10. That's what they're looking for, okay? So the marketing revolution. That's just a new URL. Okay, so no bashing. No bashing, no bashing, no bashing. Bashing comes from scarcity. So if you are bashing a job, if you're bashing another company, if you're bashing a mentor, if you're bashing a sideline, if you're bashing, you're bashing. Bashing comes from scarcity. And if you're bashing publicly, then you're going to bash the person, right? So it's again, one of those things. We want to be led by people who understand us. We don't want to be told what to do. There's not a person in the world who joins entrepreneurship to have a boss. So we don't want to be told what to do. We want to be understood and then taken to the next step, okay? So I want you guys to think about influence in practice. So how can we instantly put these concepts into practice so that you can be the hunted and not the hunter? Oh, yeah, be the hunter, not the hunted, right? So you want to be the person that prospects are just saying, oh my God, Jen, here, credit card, swipe. You want to be that person instead of you going out trying to hunt, right? We're attraction marketing. So we are playing a longer game. So you are the authority in what we are doing. So we're going to practice becoming the hunted instead of the hunter. So we really got to think about things a little bit differently. So when you understand your prospect best and appeal to their core emotional desires, you will always win. I know this is deep, right? This is deep. This isn't like, Jen, all I do is sell a drink online. Like, why do I have to worry about their emotional connections? Because even though we are system dependent, people buy. So we have to psychologically sell. We have to psychologically solve the problem, which means we have to care. Like, we have to care, right? We have to really care about how we're going to solve their problem. I care so much about the network marketing industry and also hate the network marketing industry, which is why I figured this out, because I was in a place where I was like, I know this fucking works, but it's not working. How come affiliate marketing works and how come network marketing is like this? And it wasn't until I put the two together when I was like, ding, 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 this is a system. Sharing a video, liking friends and family, 25, all of that shit I didn't do in the beginning. And I made a ton of money. So I had to stop and slow my business down so I could solve this problem for everyone who's like me, believes in network marketing, stuck at an income level, wherever that is for you. We all are stuck at a level. And how do I scale it, right? Having a business and scaling a business is two different things. Okay. So for me, I had to slow down so that I can speed up because I was determined to solve this problem. How do I put a system in network marketing? Because there isn't one. There just isn't one. Okay, so you have to understand how to appeal to their need. Their needs are bigger than something a job can provide. Their needs are bigger than something a job can provide. That's why they want to leave the status quo and create a bigger life, which is against the status quo. We all stopped dreaming at like 12 years old. And now we're at 40 years old, 30 years old, dreaming again, and people think we're crazy because they are sheeple in the system. We can get them out of the system, but only if we meet them where they are and say, it's not what you think, come and see, okay? They're not gonna come and see until we can ally their fears and justify their failures and all of that. So we really need to truly empathize with our people, with our prospects, and we need to speak to their core desire. So what that means is if I'm selling someone on a system, right? Or like coaching, I used to sell a coaching program. I would never sell my coaching program. I didn't give them anything. I would solve problems on my Facebook. I would book calls and I would hear what they needed. And then I sold them what they needed, right? So I solve their problem. I don't give them anything, okay? So you want to empathize with them. You want to create connection with your people. Now, you don't need to build like, know, and trust before they become a teammate. Do not waste your time building like, know, and trust before they become a teammate. That is a complete waste of time. You don't need to build relationships until they're willing to invest with you. Okay? That is a mindset shift. Don't waste your time trying to get people to like you who may never invest with you. Because at the end of the day, this is an investing conversation. Being a business owner is investing in you, investing in systems, investing in mentorship, investing in coaching, always investing. So you want to start surrounding yourself with people who are going to invest with you or in you. Otherwise, it's not going to work out. So you want to focus on adding value first, okay? Always with that adding value. Remember to get small commitments and stay consistent, okay? Small commitments, stay consistent, creates the win. And right now, small commitments from them is like, comment, and share. And you have to tell your audience, hey, if you thought my video was funny, do me a favor, give me a like, give me a share, because what you're doing is you're educating the future generation of social media that don't know how to, they don't even know what that means for you, right? So if you tell them, hey, if you thought this was funny, give me a like, right? And before you know it, you're telling them what to do. You gave them value first. Then you said, if you thought it was funny, like it, or if you thought it was funny, share it. They're going to feel an obligation, not in a negative way, but like, man, you just taught me 5, I did a post today on the 5 benefits of smiling. Wow, if you thought this was cool, share it, right? I have people sharing my reels and my content all the time because they got value out of it, okay? But the new generation coming onto Facebook doesn't understand authority. They don't understand social selling. They're just there to hang out with their friends. They're just there to see their grandkids across the state. They don't understand that a simple like could catapult your business in the next 6 months. It's a small commitment. You're out, hey, do me a favor, will you just like this, right? Provide value and they'll like it. And then you'll start to get likes, you'll start to get comments, you'll start to get shares. That's when you know you're serving them and not serving yourself. Okay. So you want to see yourself as valuable. You have decided wherever you are on this journey, you have decided enough is enough. I'm not going to be a status quo. I'm not going to have this job forever. I'm not going to do this thing forever. I'm going to create XYZ. Extra $100 a month, buy a new car, whatever that is for you. You have decided that. I want you to think about your ocean of people who think they can't do that. You've decided to make an extra $500 a month. Your audience are people who don't know making an extra $500 a month is even a possibility. We are all talking to a different audience of people. This is why there is enough human beings to go around to purchase from all of us. And we all can win and we all can make plenty of money because we all solve a different problem. You're going to solve a retirement problem. You're going to solve a quit the 9-to-5 problem. You're going to solve a, pain discomfort problem, a weight loss problem. Everyone is going to solve a different problem for hundreds of thousands of people. And there's plenty of people in the world, right? There's over 2 freaking billion people on Facebook each and every single day. So you want to tap into your heart, find value in the fact that you made a decision to go against the grain and think bigger and dream a little dream, right? And just share your journey. Just be real with people. And man, this is exciting, but it's also scaring. And some days I'm depressed and some days I'm overwhelmed. Like that is the entrepreneur's journey. It's a freaking roller coaster. Okay. I'm going to help get you off some of it, but you're still going to have your own battles through life because there's still other people involved. Okay. So you really want to tap into yourself. You want to see yourself as valuable. You want to see yourself as highly desirable. And some of us will go on to work together, and I will help you do this in the future. Okay. For the love of God, stop pushing your products online. Oh, stop doing it. Stop doing it. Stop doing it. Stop pushing your products online. It doesn't sell that way. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't stop talking about the solution that your product does, right? You guys have seen me. I'll do an energy drink with my drink, and I do not have it facing where you can see what it's called, right? It's backwards. And I'm just pouring it in. And then the words, when I do my product videos, you can do a product demonstration video. That is not selling a product. That's a product demonstration, sharing the benefits. And with consistency, people will buy. That's 100% okay. But don't be a billboard. Your key to success is having authentic influence. People are super distrusting right now because of what we just came out of. Right? They don't know who to trust. They don't know who's telling the truth. So you have to show up as yourself in your own voice and be yourself with your business and have your own voice and your own mission. And people will follow you and resonate with you. So remember that we are slowing down to speed things up. This isn't you're going to do a post and 47 people are going to join tomorrow. In fact, you're not going to do a post and 3 to 5 people are going to join in a week. That doesn't work this way. You're slowing the process down to create real value. Remember, do not make an offer to your audience until you have already created value, right? We have to build up that audience, build up that authority, build up that influence, and then say, hey, I may or may not have something you may or may not like. I don't need you to buy from me. But what I'd love to share with you is I've got leads ever flowing back here. And if you're a struggling network marketer who can't get leads, you may want to take a look at what I got, right? But I don't need you. You need me because you don't have any leads. That's kind of the authority of how we stand on things. So until you have influence, it's inappropriate to make an offer. So this idea, by the way, of making an offer first is over 100 years old. It's over 100 years old of using these tools. And I'm going to give you some examples. There's a magazine called The Furrow. And it was created in 1895. The Furrow, Furrow, 1895, for farmers. Niche market. It's for farmers, teaching farmers all the things to be a successful farmer. It's published by John Deere. So they are giving a valuable little piece of information, just a magazine, right? Probably was a dime back then or a nickel or free, I don't know. But it's published by John Deere with the idea that they are building long-lasting relationships, because maybe Joey, the 18-year-old that just moved out and bought his brand new farm, can't afford a John Deere, but John Deere knows Joey or Johnny, whatever, might buy one in 10 years because we're providing value and we will be here because we will outrank the rest. So you want to go into business knowing you're here for 10 years. What problem can you solve for 10 years? I'll tell you right now, farming's never going away. Michelin Tires in the 1900s, they published a guide for free that put places that motorists might want to visit, right? So they basically created like a destination magazine of, the best restaurants, the best shops, the best places to go, with the idea of, if you buy a car, you can go to this, you can go to these places, and they are the solution, right? So what they're doing is they're selling the desire. Okay. So they've been doing this for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. It works. You create value, you lead with value. You want to be informative. You want to be interesting. You want to be compelling, and you want to be intriguing. Okay. So if you have all 4 of those components into your value add, the better. Okay. But you're interesting, you're funny, you're informative, like you're giving them information and you're doing it in a funny way. You're creating valuable content. You're doing it in an interesting way. The reason this works is because it flies under the radar of social selling. You're not the billboard. You're not, hey, buy this drink, buy this thing, buy these spandex. You're not that guy. Instead, you're like, 10 tips for women over 40 to lose weight, right? And you have this free PDF. And on the back end, you're like, hey, we have this cool fit challenge if you're interested, right? 10 reasons why eating broccoli twice a day increases libido. Whatever it is, they're free. You'll research this, you'll do work. These are assets that you will sell for the rest of your life. So really be thoughtful and really think about the solution that you want to solve consistently over and over and over again. It sells more stuff without selling, because what you're doing is you're creating massive desire, right? So when you're online sharing your journey of how you're escaping the rat race, how retirement doesn't exist, right? People are outliving their retirement. Social Security is not going to be around for us. When you create that, when you share that you're on that journey with the same mission statement, you don't want 47 mission statements. Like, your purpose and desire is like, I talk a lot about parents, like, listen, you don't have to do the status quo and go get a job and do the things and not be present for your kids and wonder who's raising them. You can homeschool, you can travel, you can do the things because this is how we're doing it, right? What I do is sell time. I sell time with an actual business and a system. So my message is always about time. Even as a real estate investor, my message was always about buying my time back. I knew retirement didn't exist. I knew I had to start thinking about Social Security. Wasn't going to exist for me, right? It barely exists for people who are tapping into it. So my message has always been the same and consistent, even though what I sold on the back end has changed. Okay, that's one of the reasons why I can change companies and still have authority, because it's okay to do that. It's okay to date before you marry your husband. So don't ever feel guilty that you've done several things in the past. You have to. You have to have experiences in order to navigate life and know what you like and what you don't like. And there's nothing wrong with that. So if you want to get your message out to other people, I want you guys to think tonight, what is the message that you want to get out? What is the message that you want other people to know? What is the message that you're passionate about? What's the why you got started in network marketing, right? What is that why? What is that message for other people? What do you want them to know? If you want to stand out from everyone else, because no one is doing this, go look in those groups. They're spamming the shit out of each other. Truly, go in and look. If you want to be an authority and if you want to have authentic influence, then you have to lead with value. You have to lead with value first. Now, is this hard? No. We talked about this yesterday, posting 3 to 5 times a day, 20 minutes a day, right? 20 minutes a day. If you're going to work more than that, then you're going to do some research on what is your message so that we can build your business, build your brand, create authority, and solve a lot of problems. You will make a lot of money on the back end, but not until you solve problems for other people first. That is just a fact-based statement, okay? So you're going to do this either talking or typing. If you're comfortable on camera and you're ready to go on camera, great, go for it. If you need some help with that, we can totally do that with you. If you want to continue writing and typing in blog style and Facebook post style, that's fine. Wherever you are today, your audience is a little behind. I don't want to say less, right? But where you are, they don't even know any of this information exists. Your audience is not going through attraction marketing and how to be an influence. They're not going through this stuff. You are light years away. You are the expert. Again, don't be the expert. Be a real human, learning some cool shit. But in their eyes, that's just logged on to Facebook, that's 35, 40, 50, whatever years old, but they're putting their head on their pillow like, oh my God, how much longer am I going to have this job? Or if you're like my husband, when am I going to get fired? He has no idea. He has no job security right now. None. We'll be okay. He's prepared for it. But that is definitely something that is on a lot of Americans' minds right now because of what we're about to go through. Am I going to lose my home? Am I going to lose my car? You're going to start seeing repos and foreclosures. It's the economy that we're in. Solve the problem of a repo and a foreclosure. Be the solution, okay? So be the tour guide. You're not the expert, you're the tour guide. You're on a tour, you're following a tour guide, but you're here on the tour and you're going to gain followers just by staying in line and following your coach, your mentor, your tour guide, right? Every good follower, every great leader is a better follower. And you bet your ass, I am following key people. I am far from an expert. I'm super excited to be a student. I love being the dumbest person in the room and just soaking up the information of where digital marketing is going so I can be ahead of that curve, okay? So always, always, always do your best to be the dumbest person in the room and with a pen out in the front row, ready to go. Those are the rooms you want to be in, okay? And some of them you got to pay to play. You have to pay to play. Investors invest in themselves. Broke people stay broke and make excuses. We are not building businesses with people who complain about an auto shipment. They are not a business owner. They are broke. Okay? They can afford whatever they want, but they can't afford an auto shipment to build a business. They don't have the mindset yet. Okay? So, share the lessons that you've learned here, right? That's another thing that you can do is you don't have to know all the things. You can share what you're learning from other people, other experts, other groups. Is it worth it? Is it worth your freedom to learn this skill? Is it worth your freedom to learn this skill? Let me know in the chats. I know today we were an hour and a half. I appreciate those who are still with us. I definitely value your time. I value my time as well, which is why this is the last time that these boot camps will be free. I will have the replays and you can pay for them because when you pay for it, your heart's in it. And I truly believe that now that I understand the value I have brought for 9 years for free, now that I understand what that does, it's not good for other people. It creates a lot of codependency. And that's not what you want. You want leaders. You want to develop leaders, and people will leave because it's not free, and I'm okay with that. They're not someone who wants to invest in themselves, and I want to surround myself with people who are forcing me to level up. So I know this was a little long. I appreciate you guys for staying on. Remember your homework tonight. What is your mission? What is your mission? What is your vision for you and your family? And I want you to really sit with this. And it doesn't have to be the end all be all. Okay. I used to get stuck in that. I remember going to, I have a coach and he has this meditation called the perfect day. And, you sit there and it's like, what are you doing in the morning? And no, it's this, and it's really slow. And my brain is like, well, the perfect day, I don't know. Sometimes the perfect day I'm creating content, and sometimes the perfect day I'm at the beach, and sometimes the perfect day I'm at the cabin. Like I was so in my head about the perfect day that I couldn't even create it. So don't put pressure on yourself that it has to be perfect. It has to get started or it will never get started. So we got to get some things on paper, not in here. This doesn't exist. It's not real until it's written on paper. Okay. So get it out of your head. Think about your mission statement. Think about the business, the type of business that you want to run, own, manage, what you want to teach people, share with people, all of the things that we just covered today. The replays will be up until Sunday night, and then they will be taken down. You'll be able to get them through something Laura creates for you guys. And tomorrow is day 3. It is the final day, and I've got some exciting stuff to share with you guys. And I do have an offer for some of you that want some real one-on-one business solutions to your problems. Some of you will go on to work with us. So super excited for that. And until then, I will see you guys tomorrow. Don't forget, if you have any questions, make sure you post them below so that I can get back to you guys and get those questions answered. All right. Have a great day, guys.